of drawing a room with windows and doors. This video will focus on the windows. So here I have the same proportion as the window cavity here, and I am going to hopefully turn that into a window that has 2 panels on it. So the first thing I want to do is to create the casing, which I'm going to take this surface and give it a thickness of 15 millimeters. And then I am going to push that all the way through, so that is like a singular, it would actually be 4 pieces of wood, but a singular form. So push that all the way through to the other side, which doesn't actually necessarily have a, let's just go back for a moment so that you can see on the other side, see that it's hollow. So I'm just going to actually put a rectangle on this side for a moment. This is probably something you can do before that previous step. And I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker so that it is deeper than the wall itself. And I'm going to add in 20 millimeters like I did with the door in the previous video. So it's 150 millimeters now, so I'm going to make 170. And then when I push this through, it will go onto the surface, should give me some feedback on the face, and then it's a hole. From there I'm going to put in a window frame in here and then some window panels within that, so it's kind of doubling up this process. So the easiest thing I can do is find about the middle, excuse me, tape measure. Now there's one, this is 320 now, that is far too deep. Okay, let's make this shorter. I did something wrong there. 370. Let's take 80 off that. Let's remeasure this. 240. We want that to be 170. That's looking a bit better now. Okay, we've fixed that now. I think I added on rather than took away 170 rather than adding on 20. So anyways, we have got a frame within this distance here. I'm going to find the middle, which is about 85. I'm going to just step back. Let's go 65, that way, 65, enter, and then I'm just going to change my perspective, change the default to this. It's going to be a bit easier for me to see what I'm doing. So from that point there, I'm going to draw a rectangle on this base, which I want to be 40 millimeters deep, let's say. 40. I'm going to go 1970, 40. And then we're going to pull that up to the top, which will give me that feedback. Let's look underneath so you can confirm that. So this is kind of what the window itself is going to sit within. So we've got the casing, now we've got a window, click away, and what we're going to do with this surface is we're going to do one more offset with the F tool, and we are going to do, let's say, 20 millimeters. And I'm going to pull that through to the other side of that 40 millimeters, we're going to rotate around. Oh, Control Z, so that you can, it's a bit slow, so that we can kind of see what we're creating. We've got the casing, we've got kind of the frame that the windows, sliding windows are going to fit within. And now I'm going to group this just so that I don't edit this part at all before I start drawing the rest of it. I am going to very quickly remove this little measurement. See this little black node? It is from some previous measurement. Let's go back so we're not deleting everything. There we go, we managed to delete it. All right, next step. Grouping. So I want all of that to be a group, just so that I don't edit that, but I'm going to make elements on top of that. Make that a group. Here we go. So next step is to, within this kind of casing here, I'm going to put in 2 windows. Now what I might do is, let's see. They're going to kind of slightly overlap, so I want to just get a sense of how long this space is again. 1970. So I'm going to make each of them, what's about halfway? This is going to tell me. The midpoint in that group along that edge is 985. So I'm going to make each piece 1000. Okay, so bear with me as I make this and you will understand. I am going to draw a rectangle from the corner along here and up, and the height of this is 1270. Sometimes having a little sketchbook beside you is helpful. So you kind of are drawing within the area that you want to. I'm just going to get a guide as to what is the shorter measurement. I'm going to go 1000, 1270, enter. Great. Now, so I've got this rectangle here. I'm going to offset it by, I'm going to make it kind of like quite thick so that you can kind of see, visualize the frame itself. So I'm going to make it 60. And this is going to be one of the windows itself. And then there's going to be another window that sits here. Hopefully I have made it the right kind of dimension. I'm just going to quickly measure that to kind of check. Ooh, it's 980. What we might do is we're going to highlight that part. Oh, I'm selecting things in the distance. Let's change our viewpoint. So this is where it's helpful that the previous framing has been grouped. So when I select over, I'm not selecting all these other edges that are within this format. And then I'm going to press S for scale. I am going to slide this along this way so it is a little bit longer. It is going to probably change this distance here, so I can go back and edit that, and I might delete this internal framing so that I can offset it and make it work a bit better. But I want to get a sense that this is kind of going just kind of over halfway. There we go. That probably does the trick. I am going to delete that shape. I'm going to select this shape again. I'm going to press F, offset. Let's do 60 again. Cool, happy with that. Now I am going to push pull this shape, give it some thickness. Remember that internal kind of channel that this is sitting in is 40 millimeters. So I'm just going to make it 18. So there, oh, let's just go 20. So there is, it's taking up half of that space. 20, press enter. I'm going to show you the other side so you can kind of see that it's sitting within that channel. And then I'm going to repeat that form in a moment, but an important thing is that I want to make this surface here, I want to push it, I don't want to push it, yes, I do want to push it back about 5 millimeters, and then I'm going to rotate around and hope that I've got another surface here. I'm just going to zoom in so I can see that I can, it is only one surface. That's fine. This is going to represent the plane. I'm going to do it another 5 millimeters. You can just push it once at 10 millimeters, so it's sitting in the middle. This panel is going to represent our window, the actual glass pane. Okay, this is the frame of the pane, and I'm just going to group all that for now. If you want to right now, you can select your paint, your materials. This is glass, and paint that so that it is a window pane, so that when you go back into the normal kind of viewing point, the default is that is a window. Okay, now I've made an error here that this form goes up into, well, that's kind of right, it should be going up into this kind of channel that I've made, but I've put it right on the same edge, which technically, two surfaces cannot be right exactly where they are, so that's why it's kind of glitching there, but not to worry. Now I'm going to group that object. Let's get rid of this. Let's press save very quickly. I'm going to choose this window pane. I'm going to make as a group, and I'm going to move it. I'm going to press option. I'm just going to move it away for a moment so then I can decide where I want to place this other one. I'm going to change my viewing style to be that X-ray view, which is really helpful. And what I want to identify is, you can see the casing sitting in the middle here and this corner here. I want those two to match up. So I'm going to select this corner and I'm going to select that corner. And now you can see that I have done the proportions wrong. You sure can definitely do your maths maybe before recording a live video, so that these two edges or frames can be kind of overlapping in the center a little bit more. I think that some of the proportions I haven't done right. If I move this group up into the channel better, you can kind of see that I've actually made it in the wrong place. I'm going to move that corner up into there. And then what I could do is I could choose both those groups. If it was a component, I would actually be adapting each of those at the same time, which you will surely learn about in another video. But I could scale this. It is going to edit everything at the same time, but I can scale that down so it matches hopefully that height. So you could scale this down so that it fits the right height. So I didn't put the glass plane in the channel very well, but you can see the 3 different components. We've got the casing around the outside, the frame in which the glass plane panels have to slide within, and then that has to have a channel, and then you make the frame for the glass and have those as a separate group to the casing and the window frame itself. So a few sets of offsetting to do, and work with some reasonable proportions. You can measure a set of window frames or windows within the room that you're modelling in as a guide.